Daughters of the King, an original gospel theatrical production, took center stage at the famous Joburg Theater during the week of Easter in 2014. The musical extravaganza is based on the life of Jesus, but presented in a way very few have seen before.
What was so wonderful about this production for us is that it allowed us to marry our three great loves. There was our love for television, because it was a multimedia show. Every scene had a video background to it. Our love for live. We both get a huge thrill out of doing a live production, and our love for the Lord. So we managed to marry those three into one production, and I think that's why we just fueled it with the passion that we have, and I think that translated onto the stage.
Vibrant, colorful, insightful, and emotional, Daughters of the King looks at Easter, the story of Jesus, and the compassion he showed women.
Our simple approach was to look at women the way Jesus looked at women, and that was with respect and honor and dignity, and his reaction to women in his day was unusual because he treats them as equals.
Heading up the cast are three of South Africa's favorite female gospel artists, Rebecca Malope, Gloria Bosman, and Ntokozo Mbabo, as well as singer Marley Kelly.
Being on a stage with three amazing singers that are well known in different parts within the gospel industry, as one would look at it, they brought in a lot of color and a lot of flavor, and also the fact that we speak the same language. I think music is the one biggest language, and the story that we were telling is a story dear to each and every one of us.
Youth pastor Daniel Leach plays the role of Jesus.
As with all stories of Jesus, this is so much more to the actual story than the literature of what we've been reading, but there's almost an emotional experience, an emotional connection that I believe must be brought forth in order to truly capture the essence of what Jesus is all about. And I just love that this is putting so much emphasis on the women in Jesus' world, that Jesus treasured and cared for every single one of them. And I think if we have a look at that today, where women are almost seen as cheap or sexualized, and if you start looking at it through the context of what Jesus saw it like, it changed everything.
Daughters of the King seamlessly weaves singing, dancing, and on-stage performance with powerful multimedia video projections in a show that is biblical, contemporary, and most definitely African.
You know, we didn't want to do a black show. We didn't want to do a white show. We wanted to do a Christian show. But in that process, we got Marley Kelly singing in Zulu with Rebecca. We also added in Freddie Vessels just to bring in a male voice amongst all the female voices. And he did a Zulu song with Rebecca, and she did an Afrikaans song with him. And I honestly believe that no matter what your background was, you would walk out of that theater saying, oh, there was something there for me.
In fact, a lot of people kept saying to me that they just love the fact that the show is reflective of what South Africa is, because we've got many cultures here.
Daughters of the King is more than good entertainment. It's a show with a heart and a message, one that inspired its diverse audience in a unified expression of praise and worship, a message that will live on with them long after the show has ended and the theater lights have dimmed.
You know, you can present the gospel story in any context, and you can dress it up however you want it, but as long as the core message of the gospel, Christ crucified, risen from the dead, is there. If you put the gospel message in there, it will always touch people because the truth will set them free.